Yo, what up? This is King Daddy and Fam coming at you one more again. Coming about you with a serious note about this Diddy child. Yes, I did it. Oh, quick disclaimer. I don't uh disclaim anything. No, I do. Uh Nor do I condone anything that's going on at all. This and I don't copyright anything. I I have nothing to do with this. I'm just telling it like it is, keeping it 100. And these whatever videos or maybe even printouts or um, things I see on the internet is exactly the truth. They're not rumors. And what you're about to see, parental discretion is advised. But on my channel, I do enumerate. I don't use foul language or anything on my channel. But the videos that I'm about to or video that I'm about to show is some news footage of stuff that is actually going down with this with this Diddy trial. Real stuff that's going down with this Diddy trial. So yes, viewer discretion is advised. Again, viewer discretion is advised. Now, with further ado, let us continue. Now, um, I was a huge uh, hip hop R&B fan for years. I DJ'd back and forth on my free time before I used to work while I was working at MCI Verizon, and a lot of my tracks or excuse me CDs had Bad Boy Entertainment. Uh, um, and let's face it, everything that Sean Puffy Combs is attached to these days or the last 25, 25, 30 years has Sean written all over it, whether it's movies, TVs, commercials, video game property, uh, you name it, music. I'm not excuse me, clothing line, alcoholic beverages, alcohol itself, you name it. Diddy's attached to it. Sean Puffy Combs is attached to it. That's just real talk. However, I've been seeing a lot of comments that have been discrediting hip hop, R&B, and rap in its own genre because of what has been going down with a lot of stuff the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. The Sean Puffy Combs trial, the Michael Jackson trial, the R. Kelly trial, the Jeffrey Epstein trial, whatever. Um, you name it, these things are just take are putting I want to say a blemish on the hip hop world, R&B world, rap world, and it's painting a very very um what's the word I'm looking for? A very gruesome light on the what the hip hop world is, but what but it's not painting a light of what it has done for a lot of these young upcoming artists, even old school artists, people that have not gone down the Sean Puffy Combs, Sean whomever terrible celebrity trial that has gone down. And now, again, I'm not saying Sean Puffy Combs is in the wrong, which according to, according to the evidence, looks like he is. Looks like that man is wow. This dude is wow. He wow. I don't know what else to say about that. That's just wow. This dude is trip. This dude is psych. It's like watching horror a horror develop before your eyes and hoping that it's not true, but you kind of know it is, if that makes any sense, you know? Because there's so many artists out there that now have to take a step back and now have to, now since he's deemed uh, unattached to a lot of these artists, everyone is like, oh man, oh my God, hip hop is so terrible. Oh my God, R&B, oh no. You see what I'm saying? So, um, I can name a bunch of artists that haven't gone down that route. Total, Danity Kane, LaFace Records, um, Big Pun, Fat Joe, um, Tank, M.A. Dollar Sign E, Evie Eve, J.D. Jermaine Dupri, Timbaland, rest in peace, Aaliyah. She's had her issues, don't get me wrong. She's had a lot of issues when she was alive, but she hasn't gone down that path. Mariah Carey, Alicia Keys, Faith Evans, Tyrese, Drew Hill. They've now, granted, a lot of these people have had their issues. They've had issues. They're human, okay? They are all human. And if you can sit there and tell me that to my face that you haven't had any kind of issues or problem with drinking, I don't know, you know, then you're lying. You've had issues. I know you've had it. You probably had 10 times worse issues than some of these celebrities had, but they've had issues. Don't get me wrong, but they're not involved, as far as my knowledge, have not been involved in in trafficking and racketeering and God. I mean, this is sick. Anyway, um, and like I said, I could go down the list of artists now, then, and forever. Old school artists and whatever. And these artists now have a blemish because of some of what some of these people have done or are doing or have did. And I'm hoping somebody actually sees this. Maybe the 30 people that watch my channel, whatever, I don't know. And one of these 30 people is a billionaire and takes over Bad Boy Entertainment and um, rebrands the entire um, facade of of his brand and renames the entire thing. That's probably what might change a lot of people's perspective of how the hip hop, R&B, and rap world is gonna end up. Because right now, it's not looking good. It's looking really bleak. Now, granted, some hip hop and R&B is questionable, Believe me, it is questionable. I ain't going front. I ain't fronting like my daddy, biological daddy, that is. But a lot of it ain't. You feel me? Now, the footage that I'm about to show you is actual um footage from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe, don't quote me on this. It's from news footage from one of the news journalists of the actual Diddy trial, Sean Puffy Combs trial. And from what I understand, Jay-Z, Sean Jay-Z, was on stand. And from what he said, has some very, very, very uh, deeming, or very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Just watch it and you will see. And hopefully YouTube doesn't uh, flag me for showing any of this, because I've seen a lot and a lot and a lot. I've seen at least 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 different YouTube channels that are able to show video without getting flagged for any copyright or anything. Again, this is only for information purposes only. Information purposes only. I repeat, information purposes only. Not intended for anything else. Not copyrighted by myself. Nothing. I just want to reiterate that.
Following is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is
Even
the federal court.
even that news journalist or YouTube journalist even said for news and entertainment and educational purposes only.
Testimony of the Sean Puffy Combs trial, as reported by Inner City Press. The moment finally arrived. After months of speculation, court documents, and mounting public pressure, Sean Jay-Z Carter stepped into the courtroom, not as a mogul, not as an icon, but as a man defending himself against disturbing allegations and as a defendant for Diddy. With Diddy's world unraveling and freak-off parties now a part of sworn testimonies, Jay-Z was dragged into the storm by association. His name was attached to rooms he denied entering, events he claimed never happened, and victims he insists he never met. But how would he defend himself in front of the jury, the media, and the culture? What would he say when the whole world was watching? This is the moment Jay-Z testified. The courtroom had just settled after a long morning of legal back and forths. The prosecution was preparing to reintroduce evidence linked to Cassie Ventura's testimony. Diddy's lawyers shuffled papers, half bored and overly confident.
Now, this is one of the videos that I've seen, and I've seen a lot of these videos because I've been following the trial since day one. This is one of the most informative videos that I've seen so far, depicting and oh whoa, keeps the blacking out, depicting everything in detail of what's actually going on. I'm pretty shocked that it's actually doing that. Now, excuse me, I have hiccups. I'm not one to actually keep pausing the video like a lot of other YouTubers do. Not um keeps blacking out. Not saying that, that's how they run the stuff. But I like to just let the video play as far as I can, and then uh say my 2 cents.
It's when the doors opened, not quietly, not with warning, but deliberately. The way you walk into a room knowing the truth is finally about to catch up with the people who've been trying to outrun it. Jay-Z entered wearing a midnight navy suit, tailored so sharply it might as well have been armor. He didn't look left. He didn't nod. No entourage, no Beyonce, no Rock Nation team. Just him, a living legend stepping into a courtroom that hadn't expected to see him. Not like this. Not on the witness list. Not under oath. Gasps filled the room. The gallery stood halfway in reflex. One journalist dropped her pen. Cassie Ventura, seated behind the prosecution, leaned in to whisper to her attorney. Even the judge raised her brows slightly. Diddy. He turned toward the entrance and didn't blink. His eyes locked onto Jay like he was watching a ghost he buried 20 years ago rise from the dirt. This wasn't planned. Not by the press. Not by the public. Jay.
Now, right there, Jay-Z looking like. I mean, not, excuse me. I didn't mean to say Jay-Z. Sean Puffy Combs looking like, what are you doing here, bro? Why are you even in here? Why are you in my courtroom? I own this. This is mine. Up in here, up in that courtroom, like he owns it, like Denzel from Training Day. Come on, man.
He had requested a sealed session for his statement, but the court overruled it. Transparency, that was the ruling. And now, Jay was about to give the performance of his life, not with lyrics, but with memory. He took the stand, he swore his oath, and the courtroom filled with federal prosecutors, entertainment journalists, and attorneys who once negotiated million-dollar deals at brunch tables, leaned forward like they were listening to the first verse of a track they weren't supposed to hear. His voice, calm, controlled, but tight, like a rope pulled in both directions. I want to make it clear, he began. I came here because silence ain't an option no more. And with that sentence, everything changed. Because when Sean Carter speaks, not the mogul, not the rapper, not the billionaire businessman, but the man behind it all, it's not just a testimony, it's a reckoning. Jay-Z didn't waste time. He didn't come with denial as his opening weapon. He came with
Now, as I told you before, I used to host or DJ parties on my free time, right? A lot of these um, parties had, of course, Bad Boy Records. It was a lot of old school hip hop, Biggie, um, Tupac, Snoop Dogg. I'm old school, right? And a lot of these old school had to the get up and jump, gonna make a set, Master P. Now um when this comes, it's just like it keeps backing out. Excuse me. Okay, when this actually hits, it's like a reckoning. Because at that time, when this was going on, none of us knew this was going on at all. You know, we just thought it was just another businessman making bread and entertainment. And back then, remember he was Sean did the anthem for Godzilla, what, 15 years ago, 15, 16 years ago? He was on top, right? Now has the man fallen from the top all the way to the bottom. And like I said, the testimony that you're about to hear, it's not for the faint of years. It's not. And this is coming from the actual courtroom. I'm not making any of this up. That's another thing. Like I said, we've come to listen to a lot of these people over the years, especially if you're my age, and to hear something like this is just like, I really hope this doesn't put a damper on hip hop and R&B in a whole. Because not all hip hop and R&B is that damning and demoralizing.
text. And that was even more dangerous. Yes, I was invited to Diddy's events. Yes, I attended. But let me be clear, what I saw and what I was told were two very different realities. He said,
But people are demoralizing, evil. People change. People definitely change. whom you've met 20, 25 years ago may not be the same person you've known over the course of the years to come. You feel me? People change. Music does not. Not a lot.
Those words carefully, deliberately. His lawyers sat stiff. The defense looked confused. Was this helping them? Was he flipping? The answer would come slowly, piece by piece. As Jay-Z told the court, something nobody expected. I saw the setups, the NDAS, the confiscated phones, the back rooms with curtains. I never went in those rooms. I
And
never
this is
signed
Jay
those
Z
papers, but I knew. He paused.
making these
That
statements.
sentence broke the courtroom wide open because it wasn't just an admittance of being present. It was an admittance of witnessing the mechanics of the machine Diddy allegedly built. A machine that Cassius, Dawn Richard, and others had described in excruciating detail. Jay-Z turned toward the jury. You see, in this industry, there are parties. And then there are parties. And the ones I was at, the ones I started walking away from, those weren't parties anymore. They were systems, designed experiences, the kind that aren't about fun. They're about power, control. The prosecution asked, did
Mm.
you ever witness anything criminal? Jay-Z hesitated. Number, not directly, but I saw enough to know I shouldn't be there. He described one event in 2015, a party in Miami, supposedly for Christian.
This is one of those beaming parties that a lot of celebrities have gone to. A lot. Not just celebrities, but big name people. And I'm not sure if this is the case, but a lot of people are saying that um, Jay-Z is just on stand to cover his own, you know what. That could be the case. I'm not saying it is. I have no idea. But now a lot of people are saying if he suspected, why didn't he just step up? You know, you're a multi-billionaire, buddy. You should have stepped up, but he didn't, and that's what a lot of people are really pretty pissed about.
Holmes's birthday, where he says things got strange. They had masks, he said, like real masks. One man walked past me in leather with nothing but high heels on. People laughed. I didn't, because I knew that man looked scared. Jay-Z said he left early that night. He said he called a driver and didn't wait for the scheduled car service because I didn't want my name attached to whatever that was. Then the prosecution dropped the photo. A leaked image, blurry but authenticated, of Jay-Z, Diddy, LeBron James, and Beyonce in a room with a man in a latex mask kneeling on a velvet pillow. Jay-Z looked at it in silence. I saw that moment. He said, I was told it was performance art. I didn't laugh. I didn't say. He looked at Diddy. You knew people trusted you. You used that. For the first time, Diddy's jaw dropped. Then came the part that turned Jay-Z's testimony from damage control to destruction. He told the court about a private conversation he had with Diddy in late 2018, just after whispers of investigations started circulating in the industry. According to Jay, Diddy called him to get ahead of something. He told me, they're coming for me. You gotta be.
Everything seems to be coming to light for a lot of people, a lot of people, and it seems that one person gonna go down, a domino effect is happening.
Careful who you stand next to. Jay said he asked Diddy point blank, did you do anything I can't come back from? And Diddy allegedly responded, it's just parties, Jay. Just experiences. Nobody gets hurt unless they wanna. Jay's voice cracked slightly. That was the last real conversation we had. He looked at the courtroom. I stopped answering his calls after that. Jay said he began distancing himself, skipping revolt events, pulling out of collaborations, even instructing Rock Nation reps to keep our brand away from whatever Puffs got going. Then the prosecution revealed something else. An email exchange between Jay-Z's
Here we
legal
go.
counsel and an anonymous party from early 2020.
Here we go. Here we go.
Is warned that NDA
2000.
from past events might be what?
Just to narrate, 2018 is when Jay distanced himself supposedly from Sean Puffy Combs, and then 2020, I think they said, is when he received some emails. So, and if we noticed 7 years, that's 7 years now. If we notice, there really has not been a lot of collabs like there were back in the past. In the past, there was collabs all over the place for hip hop, R&B, right? Jay-Z was all over the place. Puffy was all over the place. I told you I really won't stop. Bad Boy for Live. Remember that? Yeah, he was all over the place. Jay Z, the mogul was all over the place. It was yeah. But 7 years have gone by since 2018. Over 7 years, actually. Nothing from Puffy. Well, of course, because he's been in locked up, can't get nowhere. And Jay Z, he ain't had nothing to do with it. But that doesn't mean that he ain't had nothing to do. Mm, you feel me?
Against those who were present, even if they weren't involved. Jay nodded. I knew what that meant. They were going to use silence as a shield. I wasn't about to get caught behind it. He finished the third part of his testimony with a sentence that made headlines before the court even recessed. He used to be my brother, but now I see who he really was and who I almost became by standing too close. The room was silent, and the fallout just beginning. As Jay-Z sat forward in the witness chair, his hands folded, his voice came out strong, but undeniably emotional. The courtroom had already been rattled by the allegations and rumors circling the trial, but now the weight shifted. Jay-Z wasn't just here as a celebrity being dragged into another scandal. He was a husband, a father, and a man defending everything he had built. I need to speak about my family, he began, looking directly at the jury, because when my name gets dragged, so does theirs. The room was silent. Jurors leaned in. Reporters stopped typing. Even Diddy, who had been scribbling notes on his legal pad for most of the morning, looked up. Jay-Z described the toll the accusations had taken on Beyonce and their children. Blue Ivy's old enough to read headlines now, he said. She came to me asking what a freak-off was. That's not something a father should have to explain. He described how, after the initial lawsuit named him, reporters swarmed outside their home. Paparazzi camped outside Blue's school. Headlines blurred fact and fiction, turning his life into a tabloid war zone. He continued, my wife has stood by me through everything. But this was different. This wasn't business drama or career competition. This was a nuclear bomb dropped on our family. And the worst part? It was all based on a lie. He then turned to the specific claim that he and Beyonce attended the alleged Miami freak-off in 2015. Jay-Z reached into a folder and pulled records. On the night in question, we were in Paris, he said. It was our anniversary. We stayed at Hotel Plaza Athénée. I've included the hotel receipt, photographs, video timestamps, and multiple eyewitness accounts. He has an
what you call it?
To confirm the dates. Everything checked out. Jay-Z had receipts, literally, but he didn't stop there. He called out the culture of clickbait and unverified gossip that had allowed these rumors to thrive. When did we stop demanding proof? He asked the room. When did accusation become conviction? He emphasized that his reputation wasn't just his own. It was tied to his wife's, his children's, his entire legacy. I've spent decades building something clean,
Trying
something
to
that
protect
fits our
himself
community. And a single headline, that gets cleared with
and his fam.
Beyonce was mentioned several times. Jay-Z was careful. He didn't lean on her fame or status. He spoke of her as a mother, a woman blindsided by allegations she had no part in.
And now, yes, Beyonce is being torn down by this too, by a lot of allegations.
Way with burying people in lies. Jay-Z's composure never cracked, but his voice took on a sharper edge as he addressed the next major claim, the infamous Miami party.
Here we go.
Gloria and Emilio Estefan's mansion, where he was allegedly seen by multiple witnesses during Diddy's alleged freak-off.
Hmm?
I want to be very clear, Jay-Z began. I have never, in my entire life, attended a party at Gloria Estefan's house. Not in Miami, not anywhere. He unfolded several documents, a timeline of his activities from that week, supported by security detail logs, transportation manifests, and charity event programs. He walked the court through every hour of the date in question. On the night of the alleged party, I was in Los Angeles. I was attending a charity dinner hosted by the Sean Carter Foundation at the Peterson Auto.
Huh. Seems to have um an alias. What's it called? A backup for every single place he that these alleged parties has gone off that he has not attended. So ah, it's getting real up in the field.
Museum, he said. Here's my speech transcript. Here's the guest list. Here's a photograph with the mayor. The evidence was irrefutable. The court clerk displayed a screen showing the security log of the museum, which captured Jay-Z's entrance and exit down to the minute. But the part that hit hardest wasn't the proof. It was the breakdown of how these rumors got started. Jay-Z.
See, at first I wasn't gonna play the whole video because I'm not sure if YouTube's gonna let me even allow this video to be played. Period. However, this is one of those very deeming testimonies that, along with Usher's testimony, wow, that could be setting the entertainment industry on fire.
Power of innuendo. You don't need a lie to be loud, he said. You just need it to be repeated. He explained that his name had been attached to these rumors not because of any witness, but because of a pattern of him attending Diddy's events in the past. That's what this has come to. I once went to a brunch, so now I'm complicit in everything this man's accused of. He told the jury that the media narrative had spun wildly out of control. They printed that I was seen in a place I've never been. And that one sentence turned into dozens of articles, thousands of tweets, and irreparable damage. Jay-Z's team submitted a report showing how many news outlets had repeated the same false claim. Not one reached out for comment. Not one tried to verify. As the judge acknowledged.
Nah, I just want to enumerate. I am not a reporter. I'm not a journalist, but I am somebody that followed both of these people's careers for a very long time. I'm not the only one. There have been so many people that have followed both these people's careers, and not just Sean Puffy Combs. Everybody that has worked under him or has worked with him. Everyone under Bad Boy Entertainment. Everybody that that he let go from Bad Boy Entertainment. Everybody that said, "Yeah, I'm not messing with, I'm not working with him no more." Usher decided not to work with him no more because of all this is going on. Well, a lot of it is because of this, from what I've gathered. You don't see Alicia Keys anymore working with this man, and she stopped working with him for a very long time. And now people are wondering, why is this thing doing this? Why people are wondering? A lot of collabs collabs um have not gone, have not gotten done. I mean, because of stuff like this. Because the music industry is falling. I mean, the K-pop and alternative um, music industry is still there because there's a lot of these young, t I don't know, teenagers that love that kind of stuff. But to me, it's not music. It's not musicality. It's not like the soul. It's not like R&B. It's not like I don't know, Lux or Fat Joe or Big Pun, JD, Kimba D. You know, they have lyrical styles, and now we have to. Well, not we. I guess the industry or entertainment industry or people in general, I guess, are just questioning what really was going on behind the scenes for everybody, not just Sean Puffy Combs.
Acknowledged the validity of the records, Jay-Z looked toward the prosecution and said plainly, if you're going to drag a man into a trial this big, you better have more than gossip and guesses. The final stretch of Jay-Z's testimony took a darker, surreal turn as he addressed the ocean of conspiracy theories that had swirled since Diddy's downfall began. He shook his head, glanced at the jury, and said, I've been called a lot of things in this industry, but Illuminati puppet, master manipulator, murderer by association, that's a new one. He acknowledged the internet frenzy, how TikTok accounts had posted deep dives
Here
connecting
we
him
go.
to everyone.
This is what I was
From
talking
Rick
about.
Epstein to R. Kelly to Jeffrey Epstein. They say where there's smoke, there's fire, he said. But sometimes the smoke is just fog machines and YouTube edits. Jay-Z brought up specific accusations that he was involved in Aaliyah's death, that he helped orchestrate the deaths of Michael Jackson and Tupac, that he paid off people to stay silent about Diddy's freak-offs. Not one of these has been backed by a single shred of evidence, he said, but they get repeated because it sells. He then took out a printed Reddit thread, one with thousands of upvotes speculating about.
I would play the whole video for you, since, like I said, I'm not a journalist or reporter, but I gotta eat. Anyway, I'll go ahead and see if I could post a link of this video up on my YouTube channel if I'm able to find how to do that. And please like, subscribe to King Daddy and Family. And hope this is as informative of a video as it is for me. And there are a bunch of other videos just like this. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and peace.